Hello and welcome to Sports Zone here on Joy Prime. Hi, I'm Nora Hauptle. Today, we've got a very packed show, starting from football all the way up to boxing. It's quite an interesting evening as we'll serve you the best of sporting content that happened over the weekend here on Sports Zone, where every Monday the conversation is unparalleled. The conversation is one of a kind, with the usual guests who ensure that every single detail you need to understand when it comes to the sports space is well covered. This show is proudly brought to you by Kivo Gary, Syntex Tank, Guinness. They have made it possible for us to bring you or serve you the best of sporting content every single Monday. And guess what? Was there a bigger story this weekend other than the Black Queen's likelihood of losing their head coach, Nora Hauptle? The woman many actually believe redefined the Black Queens. What is happening to Pep Guardiola? Daniel Cranton over the weeks have told us many times that it appears Pep Guardiola's team is not able to build that consistency that we've always seen from them. And as you recall, one of the episodes where he gave us a breakdown of how teams are able to create chances against Manchester City. And many of the comments that came through were like, no, give Pep Guardiola some time, and he's going to answer these questions that Cranton was talking about. 12 matches, 1 win, 1 draw, 10 defeats. These are un-Guardiola results. But many people actually say that he's supposed to be losing his job, but it is because of what he's done previously that is keeping him in the job. And Tyson Fury, he was flawed by Alexander Usyk. There were also Ghana Premier League matches. Accra House of Oak won. Kumasi Asante Kotoko also won their matches. We'll be bringing you all that has happened over the weekend here on this show. And as I mentioned, it's probably brought to you by Kivo 4 in Gary. And are you feeling hungry right now? So just step out to a nearby provision shop near you and get one Kivo 4 in Gary mix. It is simple, it is easy. And the only thing you need is just water, because sugar is there, the Gary is there, granules, others call it peanut. If you want to call it peanut, there's peanut in it. There's milk as well. So the only thing you need is water, and you are served. And they are available in various markets nationwide. So Kivo 4 1 in Gary is quite easy for you. And Syntex Tank, what is your preferred color of tank? Syntex Tank has it. And what guarantee do you want? Syntex has it as well. What kind of inner layer do you want? Double, triple, quadruple, as many layers as you want, Syntex has it too. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Syntex, you're strong, you're tough. We've got over 300 agents nationwide. So you can contact us on 0244 335168. 0244 335168. Syntex Tank, strong, tough. You can also find us online at Syntex Ghana or shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, strong, tough. And also Piva Beverages. Piva Beverages, they've got this special taste. This is Piva. This is Piva water. Piva water. I don't know if you have tasted it. If you haven't, just step out to your nearby provision shop and you get one and taste it. And you will come back here and tell us that Piva have got one of the best waters out there that you can get to quench your thirst. So looking for a burst of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, orange flavor, tangerine flavor, grape, and cocktail. Flavorful moments in every bottle. Piva Cola, orange, cocktail, grape, and tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at a local store near you. So you can get in touch on 0550 032231. Piva, a taste you will love. And we are set here tonight to have a conversation on a plethora of issues that have happened. Chauffeur Philip Ashrim is here.
Hey.
I like that smile. He's very infectious. He's also smiling. I didn't say I like your smile. Democratic.
You said it's infectious, so if I'm smiling, it means that I've infected you. You don't need to tell me you like my smile. You confess that the guy's smile is infectious. I'm also smiling, and you say you've not told me that's my smile. So it means you are being dishonest to Sichu.
No, how can I be dishonest?
It means you don't believe his smile is infectious.
Okay, so you infected him with your smile, isn't it? Okay, good one. Piva.
The water nice, eh?
Quality water.
No, let's see. It's left with like one third, we see 1/4.
No, it's
I drink.
And it's just it's the feel when you're drinking, when you grab the bottle and you're drinking. I think they thought a lot about the packaging of it.
Yeah.
Because the bottle is so light.
So light.
It has this very nice feel when you hold it and you are drinking from it. So I normally like to drink water from glass. So I like to pour all kinds of water into glass and drink it. But this is different. I like to drink this from the bottle.
Wow.
I can't explain why that is, but I like to drink Piva from its bottle.
There's something about this.
You need to hold the bottle to get what I'm saying. It's very light.
Yeah.
It's very.
Yeah.
There's some nice touch to it. It's incredible.
In fact, I have one in the shop, so I drink small.
No, very necessary. It's very necessary. That tangy. Piva tangy.
Yeah.
Tangy, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've tasted the tangy.
Touch of tangy.
I've tasted the orange. I've tasted the grapes as well. So yeah, it's quite nice.
No, there's something inside that tangy. That tangy.
Secret weapon.
We need to ask the CEO what special thing he's added to it that makes Piva quite special.
It's different.
Indeed, different. It's very different. Sicho, on Saturday we heard reports that we might just lose Nora Hauptle. Did this come to you as a surprise?
No, and anybody who is surprised by that is just blatantly dishonest and unfair. When I look at the job that she has done, I'm surprised she stayed here for this long. Because African women's football is growing and it's growing fast. And there are very few, unfortunately in Africa, there are very few African countries that are a little competitive on the international stage. So the market for good coaches in women's football, they've got elite women team in Africa who are always looking for, top coaches to push them up. And Nora Hauptle came to the Black Queens at a time where it was at its all-time low. Yeah. But if you look at the job that she's gone on to do to lift them from where they were and get them to qualify to, the women's AFCON and do the way and play the way she's played, then it's amazing. So I was always thinking that we might not be paying attention to the fact that she won't be here for long. And the more serious countries have started looking at her. And I'm not surprised that the rumors that she's turned out the contract from the GFA.
Yeah.
As soon as those rumors got onto the airwaves, or onto the media space, or new media, she hops onto her LinkedIn account and she drops a post that I completely agree with, trying to explain and compare the Black Queens to other countries that she's going to compete with at the Women's AFCON. When you look at the sheer number of friendly games that these ladies in other countries have played, Ghana is nowhere near them. Yeah. So it's impossible for her to improve her team or learn about her team or try new plays or try new things because the opportunities to test the team through friendly games are just not available for her. And when you work in an environment where you've got an FA that is able to fly its under-20 to play friendly games in Germany, in the last 2 years, they've been able to fly the U17 team all over the world to play football games. And they've not been able to pay any attention or whatsoever to the best performing national team in the last 2 to 3 years. And it quite clearly tells you where their priorities lie. And we are not saying they shouldn't pay attention to the youth teams. We need them to. But of course, there's supposed to be a certain level of equity in planning. And they've not demonstrated that to the Queens. We know that we're looking at playing 2 friendly games. We know that those friendly games were not going to happen because of finances. Yeah. People are mentioning that it's around $40,000 that they need to do that. And so if you work in this kind of environment, for the level of coach that she is and the job that she's come to do, if I'm her, I think I'm better than the environment. I think I deserve a lot more than the environment is giving me. So it doesn't surprise me that she's allegedly turned down the FA's offer, and she's looking to leave to a more serious football country or a country that is more serious with their women's football. So yeah, I wish her all the best. She's a human being to begin with, and we should be happy when people do well and they are going into better opportunities. So I'm happy for her for that. But it's a sad issue here in Ghana football that the one coach who is doing an incredible job We can't keep hold of her because we can't give her what she needs to stay in the job. But we are doing everything under the sun to keep a coach who has failed, a coach who couldn't qualify Ghana to the AFCON, a coach who couldn't win a game in the AFCON.
This one is free shit.
We are doing, it's Otuado, I'm going to mention Otuado's
yeah.
name. I'm looking, I think I have to meet Otuado sometime next week, but I have to say, like, it's Otuado. he's not been successful, at least in the AFCON qualifiers. And the facts are, they are not saying it. Anybody can, you can't pretend. Yeah. Everybody can read those lines and know that he's not been successful. The FA has done everything in their parts to keep him at the job till date. But when it comes to Nora Hauptle, they've not created the environment for her to thrive. And that is why I think that it is fair for any right-thinking person to understand why she might want to leave.
Daniel, some of the things you were talking about here, we are on television, so it's actually difficult to see. But some of the things I saw before writing that story, I was a bit disheartened by the fact that this is a woman who is not even interested in our money, actually. But we've not been able to do the basic things for her. The incessant pressures she mounted on the FA just to get 2 friendly matches against Senegal and Tunisia because of $40,000. And in fact, not anyone told me. There were things I saw with my eyes before we did those stories. And if you have, like you mentioned, you have an association that can fly its under-20 team to Germany to go and play friendly matches. They were actually able to get $300,000 from a bank to pay Otuado for qualifying Ghana to the FIFA World Cup. But today they're telling us they can reach $40,000 for 2 friendly matches.
And that's enough. That sees it proper that its management committee members can earn $100,000 each just for being at the World Cup and for failing to qualify from the group stage. So it doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense that they can't get $40,000 for, that they need to prepare for what is their best shot of doing well at any tournament.
Danny, what did Nora bring to the Black Queens that we would be missing?
First of all, it's very disgraceful and it's sad. It's sad for me, and I feel sorry for the playing body. I feel sorry for the playing body.
Your girls.
Yeah, you see, we don't seem to understand, and that's what this one doesn't make me sad. It annoys me because those in football understand how football works.
Yeah.
And it's a ripple effect. It's a cycle. So what we did to the maidens in chopping them down because of an administrative error which got them banned from the FIFA competition, it affected the Black Princess. We may not know, but the Black Princesses who went to the World Cup earlier this year were a group of players who should have been in the maidens, who probably would have qualified and had world experience before they're under 20. And if you look at the successes that they churned out this year, so there was the WAFU that they qualified for, that they won, sorry, the WAFU under 20, then they qualified for the World Cup. They were looking pretty good ahead of the World Cup, only to go, and you could clearly tell their inexperience is what let them down. Now ask yourself, had this group been or gone to a World Cup 2 years prior, if it hadn't been for that administrative error from the FA, they probably wouldn't have had the butterflies in their stomach and chickened out at the big stage the way they did. But it was just down to sheer inexperience. Now there's a ripple effect. These girls also graduate into the Black Queens. And if you look at the new Black Queens that Nora Hauptle has built, she basically took players from, she froze out the established names in the Black Queens and took players from the under 20, about 2 years ago's under 20 team, and has built this young, ripe team. Now, I knew there was trouble when we were playing the Olympic qualifier against Zambia, the second leg. Now, for anybody who watched that game, look, we were watching a team that has missed out on the last 2 AFCONs take on a powerhouse
in Zambia.
Zambia don't just have the best player on the continent. They have the most expensive player in the world. Who plays for Real Madrid. So they have 2 of the best players in the world. And it's not just 2. The entire core of Zambia's, from the goalkeeper to their central defensive pair to the midfielder to Banda, have been to at least 2 Olympic Games. Now, at least 2 Olympic Games means at least for 4 years they've had that international experience and they've played at the highest level. And we went to Zambia, a goal down from the first leg. And it took Zambia the last kick of the game to gain qualification to the Olympics. And you see, because we don't take women's football serious over here, we think, but you watch the game, you look at how full the stadium was. And it wasn't free gate. They paid money to come and watch the Copper Queens. They paid money.
11-1 Awasa Stadium.
Yeah, it's a big deal over there. And as soon as that game finished, when we started hearing from the Zambian, our colleagues in Zambia, that there was now pressure for their FA to hire Nora Hauptle. What does it tell you? They can clearly see the body of work. And Zambia want to go to the next level. So they see Ghana's coach as someone who can take them to the next level. But we have the next leveler. And we are treating her in the team like they are an afterthought. She comfortably qualified for an AFCON that we failed to qualify for two editions in a row. It was so
last
easy.
time we were there was 2018.
It was so. I think this is the easiest the Black Queens have ever qualified for an AFCON. If you look at the goals they scored and how easy they dispatched of certain teams in the competition, and if you look at the form that the Black Queens were showing, especially on the back of that Zambia game, you look at Nora Hauptle and you tell yourself, there's no way that she would go to that AFCON or that AFCON and not qualify from the group. And it's so simple to qualify for the FIFA World Cup now. Yeah. It's so easy. Top 4. They've extended the teams. Top 4. Reach the semi-final, you've qualified for an AFCON. So for the GFA to sit down and look at it, it's like we don't like good things. So it's like it's not we don't see it or we just don't like it. And for me, it's a reflection of the leadership. Not just the leader of the FA, but the person who is in charge of women's football in the ESCO. It's a clear reflection because that is like everything that follows them is failure. And I don't get it. No, it's true. See, it's not funny. It's actually very frustrating because you can't look at your body of work over 4 years and everything that is attached to you is failure. Since the election, our under 17 girls, they've not played now until recent. In fact, Sunday is when they came back into action. This last week, and they've gone to win the Wafu girls. Yeah. We'll sit down there. Let's bet. We'll sit down there and we'll watch these girls, and in the next 4 years, that's it for them. You have a Black Queens that are on the brink of history. You look at this group, and everybody in the continent can see. So much so that they are putting pressure and trying to win your coach. And you are sitting there, and all you have to do is to release $40,000. $40,000 is Kudus and Paki, their appearance fee, not winning bonus. Their appearance fee.
When they went to the AFCON.
Just that, the two of them. Yeah. So 2 players in the Black Stars will say, okay, I will not take my appearance fee. And it is enough for adequate preparation for the Black Queens for an AFCON. And that one, you can't do it. Like you are genuinely, after qualifying so easily for this competition, after your team showing so much promise, you are going to sabotage them by not providing the necessary funds for them to not prepare. And then when they go to the AFCON, you travel and go and watch some. So the cost of your tickets, you see, like, you don't get what I'm saying. But the cost of your ticket to go and travel and watch them and pay hotel, isn't it enough to
take your pay?
See, so we need to start asking ourselves this question. Are they interested in enjoying the perks of the job, or they actually want to do the job?
They want to do the job, I bet.
Because if you want to do the job, when we are watching the World Cups and things, and they go to the VIP spots, it is only Ghana and Africa that you see the entire ministry cabinet in the VIP spot. Everybody is there, from MP to this thing. They are all there. It is only Ghana.
Parliament was empty during Qatar.
Yes, all of them.
Not just Qatar, even Abidjan. Yeah. We were going to play Egypt.
To go and play 3 games and come home.
When I saw them, I was shocked.
Why? Why do we do this?
This is where we need to start questioning government to a very large extent, because to be fair, they fund the national team. I've got my issues with the FA. If the government is not paying, you find the money to pay, because you owe it to the team as well. Yeah. Because like I said, I'm not sure government funded their trip to Germany. I'm not sure they funded...
In fact, I'm stating it categorically. The ministry was not even aware that the Black Satellites was in Germany.
Absolutely.
They had no clue.
And the FA got
for
away.
24-hour friendly.
And they got away with it.
Yeah.
It was so shocking speaking to people at the ministry, confidently say that, and they took the team to Germany without even telling anyone. I was like...
How is that even possible?
How is that even possible?
So even though the FA manages the team and the government funds it, if the FA has been able to find a way to get these 2 teams there, they should be able to find a way. They should be able to prioritize. Because at the time these 2 teams have been traveling around, they should have known government support to the women's team wasn't enough. Yeah. So if they were prioritizing and they were doing their budgeting, they would have been allocating some more funds to the Queens and getting them to be there. But that is just not what they've done. And let me just, to give Ghanaians a fair idea of what we are speaking about and the gravity of the issue here. Yeah. Nora Hauptle herself posted, as I said, on her LinkedIn page, that the number of games that other African countries have played in 2024, South Africa have played 15 times. 15 times.
15 matches.
Yes, 15 times. That is more than a game every month, right? More than a game, 1 point something every month. Yeah. Now, Nigeria have played 12 times, 3 shy of South Africa. You've got Zambia who have played 12 times as well. Morocco have played 11 times. Algeria 10 times. Botswana have played 10 times, right? And Ghana has only played, guess what, 3 times. And Ghana is supposed to go in there and compete with
these same countries.
And when you look at the countries I mentioned in the first 4, it's no surprise that when we have to go to the World Cup, they keep appearing. Yeah. Because they know how to get their teams ready.
The Olympic Games.
And the Olympic Games.
This was an Olympic year.
This was an Olympic year.
Some of these matches are high-level
competitive games. So if we want to, and this is the benchmark, right? The South African team, Nigerian team, Zambian team, that is the benchmark. And if they are playing these number of games in a year, and you want to reach that level, you can't afford to be playing, 3 games, 4 games. You need to be pushing yourself and testing yourself. So it's disappointing from the government's viewpoint. But again, also disappointed from the managers of the team, the FA, that have been able to do same for teams where many people will speculate that because they want to sell players, it's easy for them to find money for them to travel with them. But because they don't necessarily gain so much from the Queens,
even if they can't find the money, they are able to arrange that, please fly this team here for us. But you cannot even arrange
my major question, is on a personal note with the people in charge. Like, why do you want everything? And everything is not an understatement. Everything that is attached to your job description and what you are in charge of during your spell, why do you want everything to be associated with failure? Why? Like the Black Stars have failed, Porto, 2024, the worst year ever in Black Stars history. And then the one that is going to give you something good, like you can literally end 2024 on a good note. You there prepare well and let us have them for the next AFCON. Yeah. I want you are spoiling it for the girls. I don't understand though. Like, you people cry, why? Like, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy when you fail consistently every single
day? Is the FA saying though that if CAF and FIFA do give them money for the year, and in the audits,
for the Queens.
In the audits, they tell FIFA that, we spend this much on our Queens and get them ready for the AFCON. FIFA and CAF are going to look at them and tell them it was misplaced.
There's actually a specific budget for women's football.
Absolutely what I'm saying.
The money, you remember?
The World Cup last time, it went to women's coffers.
The AFCON budget money. They went into a women's football account.
It was the AFCON, that's right.
You are laughing.
No, it's quite interesting.
The money that the boys took, 20K, that one went into a women's football development account. But when it's time to develop football, you can't put 40,000.
You can't find
players. What 2 players took?
You see, some of the things I saw. Some of the things I saw.
Charlie, the team is serious. It is serious matter. I mean, the job plus one of football.
No, you see, and this is why if my sister, if my wife, my girlfriend is playing in the Queens, there is no way from the depth of my heart I'm wishing the Black Stars well.
Yeah.
If my community lady, if my friend is playing for the Queens and we treat them this way, and I look at the amount of money you spend on the Black Stars, there's absolutely no way. I look at the Black Stars and think they are worth the amount of money you pump in there and wish them well from the bottom of my heart. Because I'm thinking, this is crazy, this is unfair. We are not asking for the same amount of money. We're asking for a chicken change of 40,000 as compared to the amount of money you spend on the senior men's national team. It's not forthcoming.
On Saturday, someone asked me a question. Are you sure they paid the Black Stars coach $50,000? Someone asked me that question on Saturday. Because the person could not believe, after the story went out, the person could not believe that they needed $40,000 just last month for 2 final matches. 2 matches, not even 1, 2 matches. And we couldn't afford it. But every single month, we can get $50,000 to pay a coach.
30 seconds on this thing. You see?
We are
especially people in like the upcoming generation who don't really understand the importance of the Black Queens went to 2 World Cups before the Black.
Oh, yes.
99, 2003.
Oh, yes. They put us on the map way before the Black Stars.
They put us on the map way before the Black Stars.
99, 203, 207.
207. Yes. 3 consecutive World Cups. I'm saying they did 2 in a row before the Black Stars even went for 1. Yeah. They won Ghana's first game at the World Cup. Yeah. They beat Australia at that time. Were miles ahead of Ghana in terms of women's football development.
Still are, yes.
We went there, we beat them. Albert Asaki's goal was nominated for goal of the century.
Yeah.
And we are sitting, Charlie, this be Adrabayo in Timo. Like, you can use Adrabayo for all the props and things to make yourself look good. But when it comes to doing the work to make sure that we get the next crop of Adrabayos and
bro, right now, Zambia, Morocco are better football nations than Ghana. It doesn't make sense. South Africa. South Africa used to be
women's football. The one in charge of women's football.
On the ESCO.
Every day, Instagram, 5 pictures. But you don't know how to do it. Every day, you are posting pictures. And when it comes to your life outside football, so manya. Everything associated with the two has to be massive.
Alberta Saki.
You are happy. You are overseeing this thing and you are happy.
Alberta Saki actually presented the Women's Coach of the Year at the CAF Awards recently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These are people we can actually use as ambassadors for our female national team, the Black Queens. And it is interesting to note that it appears we do not even care what has actually happened to these people. I'm shocked.
If we were following the prop like USA, the U.S. women's football national team started making waves internationally before the men.
Oh, and even so now they're even...
So when they sit down and they go to the board and they tell them that we demand equal pay, they're able to give them
pay.
Because they've been able to grow the interest in women's football and they are actually giving them benefits.
That's the case, okay.
So when you look at what the Black Queens have done, as against, especially in recent times,
Then okay, I'll give you Guinness.
Oh, I know they want Guinness. If you give out, they want. The Guinness will be for later. But the
Guinness,
the
yes, we can. Ghana, we can. The Black Queens can. Either with Nora or without Nora, they will go out there and they will do well. And let me just state some figures.
Don't be saying those things.
Don't be saying those things.
Don't say they'll go out there and do well. They'll probably go there and fail. What do you mean they'll go out there and do well?
You need to be optimistic.
You don't have to. You have to be honest. You have to be honest.
Charlie, we pass.
You have to be honest.
But you know one interesting thing? These are things my eyes saw feely. Not anyone told me. You gave the woman a contract and said that, okay, you will give her $5,000 as bonuses and $12,000 monthly salary. Because the woman doesn't want to stay, she says she wants $12,000. And guess what? Leadership of the FA actually appear to be so busy to the extent that they don't even want to sit down with a woman for a conversation. That's another frustrating thing. Someone at the FA actually told me that I'm not surprised she's gone. In fact, 2 people actually told me this at the FA. These are people who are key decision makers of Ghana football.
They don't make any key decisions. Which key decision do you see in Ghana football? The league, you watch the league, you've seen our Black Queens, you've seen the ladies have won the Wafu something, Zombie.
Under 17 champion.
Maybe that's
they beat Nigeria yesterday 5-4 on penalties. I'll give you Kivo Gary. I'll give this one to a tank. Syntax tank. Collect them. And then Guinness. With the optimism Guinness comes with, yes, we can. We should be able to go out there and get it done. Because Guinness says, yes, we can. So the Black Queens can, either with Nora or without Nora. The understanding is that she will sign a 2-year deal with the Zambians. We are waiting to see a confirmation of that. As of this morning, she was here to sign that contract. But we don't know if she has finally signed that deal with the Zambian FA to lead the Copper Queens. I was actually made to understand that there's a 4-nation tournament the Zambia FA is organizing ahead of the women's AFCON. So Nora will just come and use that to access her team. And that is going to be in February. She will just use that to access her team, pick her team for the competition. Piva Beverages, a taste you will love. Now, let's come home and talk some Ghana Premier League football. Phobians won. Porcupines won. Then, okay, you're supposed to be a Phobia fan. Or the Black Queens matter, it angry you.
Congratulations to House of Folk. It was always important to bounce back after that disappointing defeat against Kotoko.
Yeah.
3-1 at home is really important, and not just the result, but the performance also was very encouraging, and especially because Hearts played before. They played on Friday before the rest of the teams played. You do your part. You never know what is going to happen. It was just quite unfortunate that on the day all the teams at the top ended up winning their matches. But it's always important, especially when you have the opportunity to play before others play, to do your part. Make sure you get your 3 points. And even if everybody else wins, you still maintain that gap. Because I was looking at the league table, it's still really close. Yeah. In fact, the win for Kotoko last week really did them some good. And this was after they had gone through a very tough period. Yeah. So we are getting to the end of the first half. In fact, the registration window has opened. And for Hearts of Folk, it's just about keeping tabs with
those
who are at the top. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about BBNE being on top. All of a sudden, I think they slipped up once.
And they are far gone.
Taking the lead. But it is really important to just keep it close, minimum 5 points. If you're able to maintain that, teams will by all means drop points. And for teams like Hearts and Kotoko, they should always be ready to pounce. So, Chelsea is not an easy team to face at home. Hearts of Oak were losing some of their play. In fact, Asibe didn't train all week because he was with the Black Galaxies. And then when the squad was released, he comes back, puts in a solid performance.
A Nesta-like performance.
Nesta-like performance. I don't understand why did he drop them, but it's cool. Yeah.
But Kotoko, back-to-back wins. Is the Porcupines back?
No, that's too early to say. We've seen these spells before in this same season. They won 3 games in a row at some point. I thought but what you need to do now is to grind results. They're not playing flamboyantly well. But we've seen Kotoko, they can defend at times when they defend. The problem they always had was the number of goals that they would score or they could score. But now it's about getting the wins. At this time of the season, you want to pack the points. We know the Ghana Premier League can be funny. Get it to the end of the season when teams are desperately in need of points to survive. Teams are desperately in need of points to win. So you now want to pack up the points, and when it gets tougher, you have something to fall back on. So yeah, Prosper is experienced, he knows this. And having won against Hearts of Oak, that would have been huge momentum shift for them. Yeah. And one thing as a manager you would want is that your team can ride on that wave and get them at least to win games on that wave for a while, because when you win these games, it gives you an extra oomph about yourself, about your confidence, and about the game that you're going to play. So yeah, I won't be too quick to say that the team is set now and we are going to see a lot more consistency from them. Maybe they need to do it again and again and again. Then we can actually say that, okay, they found a module, they found a system that is maybe unbeatable.
For me, what impressed me about Kotoko's win was, first of all, we know how Karim Zito approaches games against some of these big teams. He usually sets aside to be very difficult to break down. Now, Kotoko were without a key part of the attack, not just Albert Ama, the goal scorer, but the dreadlocks guy, Emmanuel Nchi was with the Galaxy. So that's a midfielder who creates a creative midfielder and then an attacker who scores. And yet they were able to score 2 goals really early and then keep it. Also, I was especially impressed with their attacking and how prolific they were, not just creating the opportunities, but putting the ball in the back of the net, especially without Albert Amwa, the one who they've relied on for all the so they are showing that without him, they can actually score. And now the window is open.
Kwampoku is back.
He will be registered and then moving forward.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the results of matches that were played in the Ghana Premier League over the weekend. And just as you heard them, Kumasi Asante Kotoko 1-2-1 against Dreams FC. Accra House of Oak also won their game against Brecum Chelsea. They won by 3-1. Bechem United, they sat at home and also they won their game against Samatex. So these are the results. House of Oak 3, Brecum Chelsea 1, Nations FC 3, Legon Cities 0, Gold Stars 2, Instrument 1, Dreams FC 1, Asante Kotoko 2, Young Apostles 1, Vision FC 1, Heart of Lions 3, Basaka Holy Stars 1, Bechem United 1, Samatex 0, Ediana Stars drew 0-0 against Accra Lions early on today. Now, let's bring you the table as it stands. Heart of Lions, they sit at the summit of the table with 27 points, followed by Bibiani Gold Stars, they've got 27 as well. Bechem United have got 26, Nations FC 25, Kotoko 24, Heart of Oak 22, Midiama 21, Brecum Chelsea I've got 18. Basaka Holy Stars, I've got 18. Samatex, the defending champions of the Premier League, have got 17 points. Vision FC, I've got 15. Ediana Stars, 14. Instrument FC, they've got 14 as well. So it is that close. Young Apostles, 14. Karela, 13. Accra Lions, 13. Dreams, 12. Legon Cities, 11. Is that close? Very, very close. Many more matches to go. 3 more matches to end the first round of the Ghana Premier League campaign. Then we'll go into the second round of the season. And that is where many people often say that it is the market season, right? Which is the second round of the Ghana Premier League season. But just before we go to Europe, I just want to take your thoughts pretty quick on the Black Galaxies. TG Dramani says that even if we don't qualify, the boys have gotten some experience. I'm like, what sort of experience are you talking about? We've not been to the CHAN tournament since when? 2014 or 2015?
No, we qualified for the last one. The last...
Yeah, there is the recent one. Yeah.
He said that Kreto didn't understand why the Black Stars couldn't beat. They beat us 2-0.
Yes.
There were Dreams FC players in that Black Galaxy.
Yes.
And they beat...
You remember Simba and Co?
Yeah, they beat Black Galaxies and then beat Ghana and Black Stars too. So I don't understand why he said he doesn't understand why. Clearly, he doesn't monitor, but look, I was very disappointed in Sunday's game. Extremely disappointed because I feel like the good preparation they claim to have, I don't think it was good enough. We didn't have any proper high profile. You see, you can't be playing second division teams and prepare for a game like in Nigeria. Because of the way the qualification format has changed, this Ghana versus Nigeria last qualifier is like a quarter-final or a semi-final at the actual competition.
Yeah.
So you need to approach it like that. You can't approach it like a qualifier. It's not just any qualifier. You are probably going to play tougher games in the qualification, especially because of the West African, the WAF where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
So you are going to face Nigeria, and you are facing second division teams, and you enter the game. You see, there was such a huge disconnect between... There was no midfield, let me just put it that way. We were struggling to create. I felt extremely sorry for Albert Amoah because it's the sort of game that you look at his distance covered and it is plenty by Onyeshi. He was just pacing from one corner to the other, chasing wayward balls. The defense didn't... It seemed very disjointed. And yes, there are certain games that happen that way. But when you have a player, and I'm talking about Emmanuel Entry, when you have players who have already built chemistry at club level, sometimes it will help you to just use the ones that are already working.
Yeah.
Entry and Albert Amoah already have a connection. They understand themselves. You may not have... they don't need a large chunk of possession to create a moment of magic. They just need one moment. So I think he benching Entry for that long, especially because he opted for Amoah up front, was an issue for me. Also, it's either he was going to add that extra attacking midfielder in Entry, or he should have played two strikers in Jerry Free and then Albert. Because when you look at the profiles, you could just tell that these are the sort of players who can play together. Yeah. Now, you saw, as soon as Jerry came on, that boy is special, by the way. As soon as he came on, even by virtue of the positions he was picking up, spaces started opening up.
It was creating problems.
It was creating problems for the Nigerians. It's just unfortunate that there wasn't enough time for the chemistry to build and for the Black Galaxies to get the result. But goalless draw is a very good scoreline going into a second leg. It's open. What it means is that the Nigerians will be playing knowing that this is their last chance. Yeah. They're at home, there will be extra pressure on them. The Black Galaxies don't need to go and sit there and defend. It's going to be an open game, something that suits Didi. He likes to play open, expansive football. So you can go and play your football. And again, I actually agree with him. If you don't qualify, they've gained experience because I don't think the FA themselves are serious about qualifying for this thing. So I don't think... For the players, obviously, you want to reach that level, you want to reach the competition. But they'll probably go and come back in the group stages. Per what is... it's true. Like
per our current
standard, they'll probably go and come back in the group stages. But not qualifying against this Nigerian team, I don't think it will be such a bad thing based on our current circumstances.
But Sicho, do you think the Stars, the Galaxies have got a chance of just nicking it in Nigeria?
Look, it's difficult. It's very difficult. The Nigeria team, as we saw, they were happy with the results, to be fair, because they trust that they can do the job at home. And look, there were times in the game I thought we were maybe just lucky to even come out of the game with a draw.
Yeah.
Because there were spells we looked just okay, but there were many spells we looked off, completely off. And I thought Nigeria themselves were trying to be cautious not to overcome it so that they can manage the game and get a favorable result. In Nigeria, I think it's going to be a different ball game altogether. What I don't trust is that even when the game is expansive enough for the Black Galaxies to play, they can be able to defend and defend well. And that's the thing with Ghanaian teams. We can't seem to concentrate or keep concentration high through our games. We can't seem to be physical when needed. We can't seem to focus for long spells of games. And I think that might be the undoing of the team. Ultimately, what we saw was also a reflection of the quality of football we play in our league, which is not high. So I wouldn't be stunned if the Galaxies do not make it through. But of course, trying to qualify away at Nigeria is always going to be tough. And we did it in the World Cup qualifiers. That was the Black Stars and the Super Eagles. hopefully we're able to do this one again, but it's going to be tough.
It's going
We
to
did
be
it last
tough.
time around too.
Yeah, we did it last time around too. Yeah.
This one says that allowing Nora Hauptle to leave is a big blow to the senior women national team. The GFA don't care about our women's football. And this one also says that, he said, good evening. God bless you guys for coming to us, some of us who love football. Concerning Nora's issue, all of them are now fed up with corruption in the GFA. Sometimes this corruption thing, I think it's just a huge tag that we just throw at people. So we cannot just say they are corrupt without any evidence backing what we think.
No, you don't always have
just a perception.
You don't always need evidence to back your perception of corruption. When you look at the amount of money people mention is been associated with their FA, and the job that they do is not commensurate. So people are thinking that money is going to the pockets of people. So it's a perception. And the perception of no country really has been caught to be corrupt. It's always perception index that we're using to rate countries that are corrupt. So perception is a strong thing.
And he says that I agree with Daniel. They are all fake. And how I wish the earth will open and they will... come on. Please, Yaufoli, be nice. This one says, why is the sports minister? He went to do his campaign. He was re-elected. He's back to office. So his tenure will end on January 7th. So he's currently in office. The sports minister is around. This one from Thompson in Dansuman. He says that, hi, Nabla, I'm happy for Kotako's crucial win to end the year in style. Kudu scoring at last to make a mark in the industry for Ghana, as well as Semenyo scoring, interestingly, against both Manchester teams this season. Also happy for my club, FC Bayern, for the convincing victory to wrap up the year on the top 3. Mia Samia. Please ask Denike about his accomplice. Fentio's word about. Fentio enjoys some proper. They say when you go to Rome, you know what you do what the Romans do, right? Okay. We are taking a quick break. We'll be back soon. You're wondering what Tottenham Hotspur are doing. Sat at home, lost miserably to Liverpool. But the conversation once again was about Mohamed Salah. People say he's arguably the best player from Africa to grace the Premier League.
No, it's not arguable again. A couple of years ago, it was arguable. Right now, it's not.
But now he is.
Like, what again do you want to see? You see, people like to hold on to certain things, but the boss himself knows that Salah is better than him. Oh, he knows.
Sicho, I don't know let's start from Manchester.
Which of them?
Manchester United.
Right.
They collected Ayele.
Right.
How do you beat Manchester City, your noisy neighbors? You had said if Manchester United don't beat them, they're not good enough, and indeed they won.
Yeah.
Now, they came back at home against Semenyo and his teammates, and they lost.
Well, Bournemouth are a better team now than Man City. They play better than City. They are more physical, they are more aggressive, they are more cohesive. They defend a lot better. The attacking patterns are very calculated and they are all in sync. So, yeah, United could beat Man City, but that was never going to be the yardstick when they played against Bournemouth. They were going to face a different test. Ariola is on top form, Pep Guardiola is not in form. Bournemouth are very confident, Man City are not confident. So the City game was never really going to be a statement for Man United. I said that it was going to be a one-off game where if there was a trophy on it, you win and you go, but it doesn't tell any story or whatsoever about how well your team is doing or not. And in the end, that is what it proved to be. They lost to Spurs in midweek in the Carabao Cup, and they followed that up by losing to Bournemouth. But I think the Man United problem, as we've seen, is all come down to, I'm not a big fan of what the Ineos have come on to do in the club. They don't look like a sporting, they call them the sporting owners of the club. I don't think they've come in to assert themselves as people who have the know-how. Because when you come into a club like Man United, you need to show a certain level of power, purchasing power. They don't look like they have the cash to get Man United off, to offset some of the debt that they've got and get them to spend on top quality players. They are in the club cutting costs, reducing wages of stewards and people who don't earn much at the club. They've already cut the ambassadorial deal with Sir Alex Ferguson, costing only £2 million. £2 million for a club like Man United shouldn't be something to blink over, but they are cutting that cost. There is a team that we're looking to allegedly fly their players on Man City's aircraft to the Ballon d'Or, you know, and players have now had to take some trains when in some match days in other seasons they would have been on chartered flights. So they've not looked like owners who for me know exactly what the magnitude of the club is. They brought in Dan Ashworth and they've sacked him after 5 months because they are surprised of the choices he was going to make. But the big question is, when you're hiring Dan Ashworth, what kind of coaches or contact list do you think he has, apart from what he's got in England? So if he's suggesting he wants Gary Southgate and Eddie Howe, that's the environment he's worked all his life. He's not going to think about Ruben Amorim. So why did he bring him into the club? And to make it worse, every football person who wasn't emotionally attached to Man United would have told you Erik ten Hag didn't have a future at the club, even after beating Manchester City in the FA Cup final. But what they did was to listen to the emotional fans, because obviously the fans will be emotional. When your team has just won a cup, you're excited, so you're going to say, keep the manager, But if you take the emotions away, even they know they had a horrible season from last season, and Ten Hag perhaps shouldn't have ended the season with the club. But what they did was to extend his contract, buy players for Erik ten Hag. Months into the new season, they do what they should have done at the end of last season, sacking Ten Hag and throwing in Ruben Amorim into a completely misfit squad. A squad that can in no way be effective in the way Ruben Amorim plays. So that for me lies on the doorstep of Ineos. That is incredibly poor planning from them, because if they got Erik ten Hag out of the club and they brought in the new manager, he would have had pre-season and he would have by now been building a squad suitable to the way he wants to play.
Just like the way Chelsea did with Enzo Maresca.
But what they have done now is to bring Ruben Amorim into the club with players who every single one who has any idea of football knows won't be a fit for the way he plays. I said Garnacho will struggle in that system. Rashford was going to struggle in that system. I said it here. That is 2 of your attackers. Zirkzee, Højlund are not good enough. That is extra 2, that is 4. 4 of your attackers can't play in the system that your new manager who's coming to the club plays. That is a big problem. But I've got a slight problem with Ruben Amorim as well. Look, you're not working with superstars. You're not working with top quality footballers who are all playing well. The reason why you got a job was because the team was struggling, players were not playing well. And so the reason why he keeps chopping and changing the squad baffles me. By now, he should be picking his starting 11 or about 7, 8 players who he knows can deliver a reasonable standard for him. Then every other player will be looking to meet that standard. Because at the moment at Man United, I don't know what the reward is for good performance and what the consequences are for bad performances. Because last time Malacia started the game, he was horrible. Yet, he had an opportunity of starting against a very good Bournemouth side. Mason Mount played, he wasn't great, yet he had an opportunity of starting against Man City. So what's the consequence of not playing well? And what's the reward for playing well? Because when Ahmad has been good, he's been dropped. And it's not only been changing the squad, he's also been tempering with the position the players are playing. Yeah. So Bruno will play in central midfield today. He'll play in behind the striker tomorrow. Ahmad will play as a wing back today. He'll play in behind the striker tomorrow. Mazraoui will play everywhere in the team as a fullback, left centre back, right centre back, delete centre of the 3, right of the 3. It's all over the place. You need to start building telepathy and partnerships. You can't build partnerships and telepathy when you keep rotating the squad as he's doing, especially when your squad is not good enough.
Danike, from where you sit, do you think Amorim has got loads of work to do at Manchester United?
Oh, he does, and I think Citro put it brilliantly. The squad assembled for him is not... It will be very difficult for them to understand, first of all, his philosophy, his system. Because a 3-back is very difficult and complex for players to understand. It takes a certain level of IQ for you to be exposed to a certain level of IQ to be able to pick it up as quickly as Amorim needs his team to pick it up. So it will take time. And I feel like I'm confident that by the time the time we've reached the end of the season, the United players will have a fair understanding of what the system is to be. But it still needs a very ruthless transfer window next season if Man United is going to push for and compete properly for the top 4. Because I said this thing at the start of the season. Now when you have more than 2 teams looking for the title, you can't be aiming for top 4.
Yeah.
Chelsea low-key came into this season knowing that they could genuinely go for the title. Not necessarily win, but mount a title challenge. Liverpool were going for the title, Man City were going for the title. So Arsenal were going for the
City.
title. So at least the top three, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, genuinely going for the title. Then Chelsea have been able to sneak themselves in. Chelsea are not, as it stands, they are not playing for top 4. As it stands, they are playing to close the gap on Liverpool, trying to compete with Liverpool. And when you have that, it's very difficult for you to be... People are aiming for the skies, you are aiming for the roof. Yeah. You by all means fall below the pecking order. So Man United need to quickly fix this thing. Especially for me, it's about recruitment. It's not necessarily about the coaching, because the fact is we've seen differences and we've seen a clear... We can see the plan. What we can see is the players can't...
The tools are not there.
Yeah, the tools are not there to make the plan work. And that is one part of it. Coaching is... Let your plan show. Let it be very evident, and we can see that. And in the transfer window, I think that United need a very ruthless transfer window to fix it. And the reason why I'm a bit calm about it is that if Ten Hag had continued, it means United have folded their arms and they were throwing the season away. So if you have a better coach who has come in and is at least showing a plan, I don't expect results immediately. I prefer to see this season off under Amorim than to stress it out and be subjected to torture under Ten Hag.
So in January, okay, just come.
And for me, and Danny said they need to be ruthless in the market. Maybe January and even in the summer. But again, on my point on Ineos, they've not shown that they've got the financial capacity to be ruthless.
This was someone is saying that. King Salasi from Adenta Pantine is saying that Chelsea bought about 20 players in 2 transfer seasons. He thinks Manchester United should do so. Now you're saying they don't have the money.
No, I'm not saying they should buy 20. I mean,
maybe just an example.
I get what he's saying. But yes, and that is, I'm saying I don't think that Ineos have got the financial capacity to do some of the deals that would be required. What Man United have done in the last 10 years is to sign players, declining, the Cavani's, the Ibrahimovic, they're just falling off their peak, or players who are now about to develop like Joshua Zexi, Højlund, What about signing players like Kylian Mbappe? That is Man United, like players in that mood. Players like Victor Osimhen, players who are now going to peak. Real Madrid are looking at signing Alexander-Arnold. They know that it's got plenty of years to come. These are the players that Ineos need to get through the door if they want the manager to be successful. But I don't, and these players are going to cost you a lot of money. I don't think they've demonstrated that they've got a lot of money to be ruthless in the market. And so we'll see, but maybe I'll be proven wrong, but we need to see how they will run the transfer market when it's around.
Now let's talk Manchester City. Go from United to Man City. What is happening to Pep Guardiola? You have spoken many times about how Pep Guardiola is that manager who always has different systems for every part of the season. But it appears this season, those systems are not working.
Yeah.
10 matches, 1 win, 1 draw, 10 defeats, 12 matches actually.
So we've always said that Pep Guardiola's team in first part of the season, second part of the season, comparatively, per his own standards or his own team standards, the second part of the season are always better than the first. Yeah. Right? That is not to say he's way off like he is this season. But look, Danny made an incredible analysis. It's one of the best I've ever listened to across the world. It's not just on this show. When he analyzed that Man City team and the problems that confronted them. And I remember when he was wrapping up that analysis, he did say that he doesn't think Pep fixes it because what he needs to fix it, he doesn't have the tools to do it. And that was a stupid call at the time, really, because how dare you?
That's what I'm saying. It is prophetic.
Yeah, how dare you then question that Pep can? And I was saying here. And,
I can't imagine this was somewhere August. Yeah, actually.
And now I'm looking,
August, September. Yeah.
And now I'm looking stupid because I told him that Pep is going to fix it. But having seen City play again and having watched what Danny said over and over again, it comes down to the tools and the personnel that he's got. City have played a lot of games. These players have played a lot of games. They've almost always played the final games in every football calendar year in Europe because they've been very successful. It has a toll on players. City have not been great in their transfers in the last 2-3 seasons. They've let go some top quality players and don't necessarily replace them. And even when they've done, those players who have come in have not hit the heights. And as the squad ages, the demand of Pep Guardiola's football demands a certain level of energy, promptness, your ability to close down, which requires energy, your ability to press, which requires energy, sharpness, fitness, and confidence. So what City would have done without thinking about. Now the players are having to hesitate to take a pause and think. The game is fast. The moment they are doing that, the openings are there for teams to post. And when teams start smelling that you are not at your A game, they will cut through you. This is the Premier League. They will cut through you. And this is what teams are doing. They're not scared of City anymore. They're comfortable playing through the City press, which is non-existent. And unfortunately for Pep Guardiola, I think, as Danny said, he doesn't have the materials or the tools to fix it because he knows only one style. That style is to control games with the ball. Unfortunately for Pep, his team can't keep the ball well enough, and his team can't recover the ball early enough, and that has become a problem for them.
And let me come to Danny Carter on this. In fact, it seems that was the last show I hosted before Fent came back, somewhere September, when you were doing that analysis on Guinea's match day, and you pointed out the flaws of Manchester City and stated that you were not sure that Pep Guardiola would be able to fix this. People have attributed the current struggles to just the absence of Rodri. Is it just the absence of Rodri? Based on the analysis you did, you saw much bigger problems.
No, I don't think it was Rodri. I don't think. Look, if Rodri comes back today, not much is going to change. Look, it's a serious problem that Man City are going through, like a serious problem. And there's a part of me that is happy because...
because you said it.
Not like
you
I'm
said
happy,
it and it is happening.
I said it. I'm happy because from an analysis point of view, like it's showing, I think a lot of people are beginning to see the importance of coaching. Like, and how, if the plan is wrong, it doesn't matter who you have in your team. It won't work.
It won't work, yeah.
A lot of people have attributed Man City's successes and to they have players, that's why Pep is doing well. But all of a sudden now people are blaming Pep. And it's not just a convenience thing. I think we've seen it long enough. Yeah. It's what, 12 games? 12 games is at least 3 months.
Yeah.
Or 2.5 months for you to build a certain level of consistency. And the funny thing is, they've not faced like top teams during that period. It's like 3 top teams they faced. Yeah. Tottenham twice,
Liverpool.
Arsenal. Tottenham twice and Liverpool once. The Man United team is not. No, to be frank.
United's in the bottom half of the table.
It's not top. It's
no, they're in the bottom half of the table.
Like, I'm talking about based on like the informed good teams in this year. And we know that traditionally, I'm adding Tottenham because traditionally, Tottenham seem to have, or
one of the top 6 teams.
Seems to have something on Man City. But we've seen enough evidence to show that coaching is important. And I'm looking at it from this angle. When I was saying it, the reason why I was so confident that, as at the time, what I was saying will come to pass was, I always say it, tactics may change, but managers' principles never change. He's not going to stop trying to possess the ball. He's not going to drop his high line. He's not going to ask his players to stop trying to press in. It's not going to happen. And once that is not going to stop, then you look at the players. Are these guys quick enough to recover when balls are played over the top? No. Most of them have lost yards of pace. Kawaka is not that quick again. Vadio has never been that quick. Because of the injuries to the centre-back pairings, they've lost some yards. They've played a lot of games. There's mileage in their legs. They've lost it. You look at the midfield. Can they press as smartly as they used to? Kovacic has lost legs. In fact, when you look at the start of the season, the Chelsea game, if you look at how Kovacic was even pressing, you could tell that it was going to be a problem because Chelsea didn't play. We came and we analyzed it.
Chelsea that was a very good game for Chelsea. Yeah.
I said during that episode that if that game had happened in the 3rd week or 4th week,
it came too early. We said
Chelsea
it came too
could
early.
have beaten Man City easily, but the signs were always there. And for me, look, coaching is so important. Like it's so important, and that's why I will circle back to what happened last season. When City won the league and Rodri made that famous interview questioning Arsenal's character. Yeah. And I was so angry then, and Fent was asking me why. Yeah. Now we are seeing it. You've won 4 Premier League titles in a row.
Now where's your character?
Show it. Show us your character. You are facing Bournemouth, you can't beat them. You are facing Feyenoord, you are leading 3-0, you can't win. Show us your character now. Now you are seeing that your form and your good play is based on the instructions that is giving you, not necessarily because you are some top class player, some superstar player that we've not seen some before. You are Pep, and Pep is you. So when Pep is failing, you will fail. That is coaching is what has made this team, this Man City team, good. It's not about individual talent. Now we are seeing it. Like did you ever think that you look at this period? This is sackable form.
Yeah.
This one win in 12 matches. It's sackable form.
But for the credit he has in the bank, he would be gone.
You can't sack him, which is fine. I don't think they should sack him. They sack him is silly because nobody's going to change this. Look, Man City will go 12 games, win 1.
Draw 1.
And not be able to beat teams like Crystal Palace. You can't beat Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
You can't beat... You are leading 3-0 against Feyenoord. You can't beat Feyenoord. And it is not just showing... It's not just showing poor form. It's not just showing poor coaching. That character that they were boasting about just a few months ago, it is showing. So sometimes, like, the thing that Haaland told Arteta, they should be humble.
Humble.
They should be humble. No, it's true. They should be humble and recognize that your good form is because of your boss. Leave him or let your boss struggle. And today we are seeing it. No, they should win.
And the disappointing thing is that when you watch the struggle in the last 12 games I've described, I've not worked the maths, but I think about 80% of the goals they've conceded are the same.
The same.
Like, they are, you can straight away sit back, watch the game, and you're like, nah, that's a goal. Because people still keep cutting through and getting in behind the back lines. Having played players in between the fullbacks and the centre-backs. We saw Amad Diallo's goal. We saw Morgan Rogers' goal. We saw Duran's goal. The game against Feyenoord, we saw them. The game Spurs. Madison's too good. Like, they are, you can almost, they are the same. The same things are happening, and they seem just not to know how to arrest the slump.
This one says that it's a message for Daniel Cranton. He said Daniel Cranton is smiling because he said you are laughing with pain. That's the one we're starting the conversation.
What, the City?
No. He said, good evening, Mr. Nabila. I'm Nabila. Just call me Nabila. Don't add a Mr. to the name. So, good evening, Nabila and your panelists. Mr. Daniel is laughing with pain because his team Manchester United lost heavily. And then he said, I should console him I should console you for him. I'll urge Daniel to join Liverpool, the team of the moment, so that he will not always be in pain with Manchester United. From Jacobso.
That's my guy.
Inside.
Yeah, Jacobso is my guy.
Oh, I see.
I'll not join Liverpool. I don't even belong to Man United.
This is a good evening, Sports Zone. Happy to watch you again. I don't really care what is happening to Pep and his team. They must not win the EPL this season. To my darling club, Chelsea, we must win every match. So a draw with desperate Everton should not be a worry. For United, we are really enjoying what is happening to them. Greetings to all Chelsea fans in China. This is from Castro Steve from China. And he says that, this one also says that he's Rafael. Rafael from North Kaneshi. He says that every day Ghana football have got problems. The Black Queens, I can't believe what the coach just did. Okay. Good evening. I'm James from Ashaiman Zainu. Oh, yeah. This used to be my neighborhood. I want to ask where is the sports minister? I think I answered that question. I said the sports minister is back here. And then this one also says that I'm Ike, the chancellor from Kumasi. Ruben Amorim must sit up and start winning and stop experimenting with our team. Exactly what you were saying about how he's picking different teams and changing the players' positions and all that. He says that we won't sit down for him to turn our team, Man United, into Man.
Into what? Man City.
He says Man. What are you going to? I'm wondering what is it? What kind of fertilizer is it? He said, for the GFA drama with our national teams, their days are numbered. This also said, hi, Nabla. Nora would beat Otoado on any turf, even in contest ball. Yet he's giving more preferable treatment. Kind of administration, dear, we leave them to God. Please, my guys, where is Randy Abe? Randy is around. He recently just resigned from hosting his show at Metro Television.
Did he resign from hosting the show?
In fact, the story is on Metro.
No, he resigned as the general manager of the group, but he'll still host the show. That's what I hear.
Oh, but the story I read on Metro, their official website, was about him leaving, dropping his tools after 3 decades of media practice. I don't know. Yeah, but that's what Metro.
We'll see on the next episode.
We'll see on the next episode. Tomorrow morning, quick.
Chelsea signed over 20 players. This is what I was saying from King Salasi. I am legacy from Bogoso Western region. I think the entire GFA should be resolved and prosecuted. Hey, I was really disappointed in Didi Dramane. Chan is for local based players, and you went into a match without featuring the league's top scorer, Faisal Chawate. He's not even on the bench. That's actually true. Many people on social media were actually injured. I don't know why. Many people on social media were actually questioning the absence of Faisal Chawate from that team because the boy has been so good this season, and unfortunately, they didn't even look him. Dallo is the problem of Man United. Nanike. Because he misses most chances so far. Ajman Yao from Ho. Greetings to my brother Danny. This one, hi, this is Crespo from Takwa. I've been a City fan since Pep's era. Everything was going on smooth then, but now I'm really going on a rough path, which is disturbing. Please.
They can't let him.
He said he's going on a rough path.
After Gen Z, which other alphabet is there?
Gen X.
X, eh? Pep's era. There's a Gen X.
That's what, 2013, 2014?
2014, 2015, 16 also.
Yeah. Pep era there, then that's quite recent too.
Yeah, Gen X.
Yeah.
Gen X.
Please help me to understand the situation at Manchester United. They've just done that. And this one's from Ali in Wa. Thanks for your good works. And Tahir in Paga says Spain branch lost 2-1 and England branch also lost 1-2. United just put the icing on the cake. Good news for Asu. Asu, your loss makes us happy. And then Man United will bounce back next season. Amorim would deliver. We are going to La Liga right now. And I don't know what is happening to Barcelona.
They are children. They are children.
They are children. Okay, let's take a look at the Premier League table. And these are the results. Aston Villa 1-2-1 against Manchester City. West Ham drew 1-1 against Brighton. Mohamed Kudus scored. Ipswich lost 4-0 to Newcastle United. Brentford also lost 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace were at home. They lost to Arsenal. Everton drew 0-0 against Chelsea. Man United, as you saw, started at home and lost against Antoine Semenyo and his teammates. Fulham also drew against Southampton. Leicester lost to Wolves, and Tottenham Hotspur also lost to Liverpool. In the Premier League, it appears most of the teams that played at home lost. Liverpool sit at the summit of the Premier League table with 39 points, 4 points ahead of second place. Chelsea have got 35, Arsenal have got 33, Nottingham Forest have got 31. Wow, Nottingham Forest, fourth on the Premier League table. Bournemouth has got 28, Aston Villa 28, Man City 27, Newcastle United 26, Fulham 25, Brighton 25. But after Man City has suffered some 3 defeats, they were still second on this table. It appears the teams are now taking advantage of their consistent defeats. Tottenham, they are 11th, have got 23 points. Brentford, 23 points. Man United, 22. West Ham, 20. Everton, 16. Crystal Palace, 16. Leicester, 14. Wolves, 12. Ipswich, 12. And Southampton, it appears...
They should quit.
They should give up.
Dashing 3
They should give up.
Everybody.
Let's go to Spain.
That's the reason why Ten Hag spent an extra week at Man U. They're just dashing 3 points to everybody. What was that? They should quit and go back.
Okay. Let's do the highlights of the matches that were played in La Liga. Atletico Madrid came from behind to beat Barcelona. Real Madrid also won their game. And now they are second on the table. Barcelona have dropped to 10 on the log. We take a look at the highlights. These were some of the matches in La Liga. And as you saw gone by, Barcelona lost against Atletico Madrid. And Daniel Cranton, what is actually happening to Barcelona? This was a team that was flying left, right, and center. Everyone was talking about Hansi Flick turning the fortunes of this club around. And all of a sudden, 6 matches. They've started in the last 6 matches, actually.
7.
7, actually. Wow. Daniel.
Yeah, as predicted at the start of the season. You said this team was just a bit too inexperienced. When Champions League, when the other competitions start coming in, it's going to affect their consistency. It's very normal with young players. They can be consistently good over a long period of time. That's why the big teams who have the luxury of having established starters in terms of big experienced players and also have these young players. They sort of ease them to. For example, if Endrick was at Barcelona, he'd probably be starting every game because we all know their financial struggles. We know how. This is all Abidal and the other guy, Bartomeu's fault. But unfortunately, they have to live with it. We predicted by December, we'll start to see struggles. And when you are losing games at home against, is it Leganes last week? Now Atletico Madrid, which was a tough game. But if you look at the manner in which the game went, you expect a typical Barcelona team will probably have possessed the ball within those last few minutes and just accepted that it was going to be a draw because Atletico Madrid have that killer instinct in them. But they left it open, and once there was another chance in the game, Atletico scored. This is what now, is it 12 wins in a row for Atletico?
Atletico Madrid, incredible.
Top of the table. I'm very happy for Diego Simeone. I genuinely believe that they are favourites to win. I think Atletico Madrid are more settled than Real and Barcelona. And especially because there's no much pressure on them. If you look at the fixtures they have, especially at the turn of the year, I think they can establish it properly. But look, Real Madrid is Real Madrid, and
you want to touch on that, or you want to talk about Real Madrid?
I mean, Real Madrid have not been, flamboyant, but they struggled this season. Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti has struggled to find a system that works or accommodates all his top stars. Valverde has been shuffled around all the pitch. Kylian Mbappe hasn't turned out to be the star they thought they bought, but he's gradually becoming that. Yeah. He only has to turn up in the big games, in the Clásicos, in the big Champions League nights, and then he would arrive. But in all these struggles, they are only a point behind a very, very good team, Atletico Madrid, who we just mentioned their record, 12 games on the bounce. So Carlo will be looking at this Real Madrid team and thinking, we've not been great, but look where we are. What happens if
we are great?
We find our rhythm? And that could be where I think in the next part of the season, Real Madrid will go strong.
Real Madrid going strong, and Tyson Fury losing against Alexander Usyk. This has been Sports Zone, brought to you by Kivo Gary 4-in-1 Mix. Ama Gary Soak is easy. Syntax tank, strong, tough. Guinness, yes, we can. Piva Beverages, a taste you will always love. And Piva Beverages, you get in touch with them on 055 00 32231. And Syntax Tank, you can get in touch with them on 0244 335168. I am Muftar Nabila Abdline. I've been doing this with Sichofe, Philip Ashrim, and Daniel Crampton. Gentlemen, thank you so much. See you next week.
See you.
And Merry Christmas to everyone out there.